blood-blooded comrades. If you're looking to be appreciated and treated like family, that's freedom all the way. There's no chores, no brainwashing, and no morning wake-up drills. If you're a real stalker who loves the free life and a good drink in the company of like-minded fellas, join right in. We've always got old booze for no...
Heard enough? Welcome to the Army warehouses, Stalker. There's not much here except a dilapidated hamlet, small marsh, and an old army base those freedom anarchists have settled down in. It might not be much to look at, but the Army warehouses was once deemed a strategically important area guarding the radar installation to the north. After the 1986 Chernobyl incident, the population of the village was evacuated and the military base was repurposed to act as the command and control center for military forces working to secure the exclusion zone. After the fall of the USSR, Soviet troops were replaced with Ukrainian State Security Service units to garrison the base. The mission was unchanged, though, and the military forces there worked to secure the exclusion zone. Before the second incident in 2006, a large-scale construction effort was started in the area. However, the incident put an end to that, and the workers abandoned their vehicles and building materials. The military initially abandoned the base in the wake of the onslaught of mutants assaulting the base and the anomalies popping up inside the perimeter. Later on, when the military re-equipped their forces for battle and equipped them with detectors for anomalies, the military made a push towards the center of the zone, reoccupying the army warehouses on the way. They also constructed the barrier fortifications on the road north, and used it as a choke point to keep mutants and the monolith contained to the north. The barrier blockade held firm until the second emission, during which many of their forces were killed. Any military survivors withdrew to the army base and fortified the position as best they could while requesting evacuation from headquarters, to no avail. Freedom exploited their depleted strength and attacked the base in force. It was a pretty one-sided fight, and after Freedom mopped up any military stragglers, the base became the center of Freedom operations in the zone. Freedom also took over the barrier blockade on the northern road, defending the area from encroaching mutants and Monolith. You might think this makes Freedom some sort of do-gooder group, and maybe you're right. My dealings with Freedoms have always been honest and straight. I guess you'll decide for yourself if you're a friend or foe to Freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Anarchists and daredevils who self-declare themselves fighters for free access to the zone. Always in conflict with military and duty, the so-called freedom warriors believe in sharing all information about the zone with the rest of the world. They believe nobody can own the zone. They see it as a scientific marvel of sorts, and an area to live a free life. They think coexisting with the zone is the path to peace, the polar opposite of their nemesis duty, who Freedom views as jarheads who only know how to pull a trigger in their quest to destroy the zone. Freedom might be similar in size and manpower compared to duty, but the differences will become apparent when you see how Freedom operates. Where duty has a strict professional attitude and training protocols, Freedom has a relaxed, informal attitude. They are definitely more of a clan of free spirits with a casual command structure, and their men often making use of alcohol and marijuana. Now, I know what you're thinking. How the hell does a misfit group like this even exist in the zone? Well, Freedom was founded by a group of free stalkers, including Chekhov, Lingov, Lukash, and Loki. They aimed to research the zone and make its fruits available to the public. Their founding principle was liberty for all its members, and this led to others viewing Freedom as a volatile mix of anarchists and rogues. In 2011, Freedom occupied the Dark Valley, but after attacks from mercenaries and bandits, they were forced to leave. As a sort of wandering nomadic militia, they made their way to the army warehouses where they spotted the weak military position in the base. The wealth of leftover weapons and equipment in the captured base temporarily made Freedom the strongest faction in the zone. But, like you and me both know, like all good things in the zone, it's not meant to last. Freedom ended up spreading its forces too thin, engaging in fighting all over the zone with military, duty, and being constantly harassed by bandits. They lost many men and much of their territory. During this time, Lukash assumed command of the Freedom faction, and under his leadership, Freedom ceased actively fighting duty. Both Lukash and General Voronin were reluctant to continue the war, and so both factions assumed positions of static defense, where they have remained in a sort of stalemate. Maybe one day duty in the military will regroup and push north with freedom in their crosshairs. Maybe some sort of non-aggression pact will be put into place. For now, maybe you can head over and see if freedom has any paying work for you. I'm sorry I couldn't meet you at the Army warehouses to brief you in person, but I'll tell you what. Come to the Western Road and make your way to the Dead City. Meet me at the Athletic Center, and I'll be more than happy to sit down with you and share what I know. See you in no time, Stalker. Take care out there.